Welcome, everyone, to episode 4 of season 2 of San Antonio by Night. Hope you all are enjoying your wonderful evening so far. Last we left off, the coterie had been running a few of their own personal errands and came across some very interesting things along the way. Upon completing their errands for the night, Urien ran into an old friend, Wolf, who had left a note at the old coterie house stating that they needed to talk. In doing so, Urien found out that a man by the name of Deacon Johnson, a police officer that he's been acquainted with, has been looking into Urien's background, we could say, looking into Urien's possible connection to the disappearance of Wolf, who went by the name of Dantalion O'Donoghue, and Carlos Vives. Deacon's been doing this on his own, and so Wolf, thinking that Urien might want to know this information, brought it to him. Benji went to La Medianoche and had a bit of a fist fight with his mentor and caretaker, Isabella. No real wounds were made towards each other, but perhaps some lessons were learned as a result. Amber spent some time doing some personal errands, such as feeding and getting an appointment set up for the boys to have a tailoring session done so that they can get suits properly made. And so tonight we start on a new night. The Barons Delgado and Batista will be meeting tomorrow as a result of at the behest of the coterie, the host, to figure out what they will do against this Camarilla incursion that's being whispered. And as you wake, the three of you, what are your thoughts going into this new night?
Well, at this point, the appointed hour is near nigh. Honestly, if it were not for that policeman, I would feel a little better. But every fault comes with an opportunity, and I expected this to be no different. But right now, I feel a wanderlust. I think I might take up upon Clovis's offer or suggestion, perhaps would be more accurate, to be able to end up going to see some particular sites, the Alamo specifically. Now I know the tours are closed at this point, but still to walk the premises, to look about it, to understand the history of this city. And maybe there's a reason that he ended up suggesting there. Perhaps something that most kind cannot see. It makes me wonder. Besides, I feel disconnected right now. I feel disconnected with my own histories. And I reflect on my actions the past few nights. I swear I am going mad. Because I think I'm losing myself. Is that strange to think? Perhaps one in my particular condition. It is not as unusual as I may think. I wouldn't know. I've never spoken with one such as I. Still, it might end up doing me some good. My mind wanders towards Kylie Calhoun. I consider it the childer amongst the Camarilla. I consider the Nosferatu Fernando. I consider Galvin. When I think Nosferatu, I think of Galvin with a warm smile, knowing that you have someone who has the charm, wit, and strength to cover you, and you cover him. I miss that. It almost moves me to tears.
Such is the curse of vampirism, to eventually, whether you like it or not, lose yourself to the beast. Benji, what are your thoughts waking up on this rainy evening?
So, yesterday, poked around a bit to see if I could get in touch with my old scene. It's not that I wanted to fight any mortals or anything like that. I just wanted to see the ring again. Wanted to know what it was like. Wanted to get lost in the energy, but asking Isabella, she challenged me in the ring, and honestly, I don't know what she was after with it. It just felt like another lecture about how I shouldn't fight humans, as if I don't hear that enough already. I'm fucking agitated. I don't know how to put it in any other way. But if I'm going to get into a fight with someone, I would rather be down than seriously disregarded. That's what it felt like. Like I'm not some adult here. Like I don't know how to fucking act. I'm fucking tired of being blown off just because it's fucking convenient. Whatever. I mean, I saw it. The fact that she even asked Urien's opinion was like saying, "Look at my stupid dog, can't do anything right, compared to me, who's an intellectual." Fuck off! At least Urien treats me with the dignity to seriously face me, to actually fucking use whatever bullshit trick he did. Everyone else is telling me not to use my strengths. So far, it feels like he's been the only one to tell me to take advantage of them. I want to. I was made for this scene. I was made to... Before all of this shit, this is what I made myself to be. What? That all of that's just supposed to fucking go to waste? Bullshit. I'm just gonna have to figure out some place where it's gonna be respected. Where I'll be fucking respected. And if not, then I'll also take feared.
Very interesting thoughts. Amber.
Yes. The last night was an interesting turn of events. Damn fangled Instagram changing things around on me again. Seriously, why can't they just leave the filters alone? They're my favorite. So angry at them. But I mean, it's first world problems, right? No, I think it's better to focus on what I managed to gain last night. That meeting with Maxine. I'll go and meet with her after the Baron. Have a chat with her. Chat about maybe getting into some of her contacts, and if she decides not play ball, well, she is a direct impediment to me and my desires. Not something that I'm going to stand for, and I will teach her what it means to be truly driven.
To be driven.
Yes, driven before me, like my enemies will be.
And on that note, the three of you wake at the new coterie house. The night starts off rainy. And I would like each and every one of you to make a rouse check. Benji and Amber, your hunger stays exactly where you left it last night. It's no louder. It grumbles and it moans for blood, but it's not any louder than when you left it. Urien, on the other hand, your stomach growls loudly.
Yes, I have to remind myself frequently, even with such time, that hunger brings out the worst in all of us. Who knows? It never ends well when you're wishing for your thirst to be quenched.
And each and every one of your housemates' faces appears to you as a delicious morsel in your mind that's Mississippi accent in the back of your mind poking at you.
Yes, well, it's not like I'm going to end up allowing myself to continue to hunger. But I have to be very cautious on it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and end up running into a Camarilla tonight. Make a firm example. They already know what I am in that regard. Why hide it? Why not play on that fear? Either way, the thought of teeth biting into flesh, drawing of blood, the struggle into soft caress, the exsanguination of one's lifeblood. That's truly the only time we are close to the living. When true live blood enters us. And yet, I want more.
We could drain him dry.
We could.
Or
And
Benji.
more. Or Benji. Benji would. I can use that fury. I could. Greatly.
Take it. Take it all. He won't miss it none. You got Randolph. Come on.
I am not a slave to your impulses. I choose who goes. And right now, I am in control.
Put me off for long enough and I'm gonna come out of there.
And when you do, I'll put you right back in. Clean up your mess like I always do. And then maybe we can have some fun. I'm thinking a bonfire. You would enjoy that, wouldn't you? Everyone else looks at their beast and is afraid of it. But you know, I like the tug that you have. I like to keep you in line.
Gets your kicks off.
Well, everybody has a hobby.
And each of you wake in your own rooms. And you go about your preparing to go out into the world. Who leaves their room first?
Well, I'm gonna go out and say Benji. He's anxious, visibly. He's got tight knuckles, a lot of motion, a lot of trying to pop joints and just sort of fidgeting about. He seems more agitated than anything.
Benji, when you come out of your room, you notice that M is pacing downstairs in the front room. She doesn't seem to notice you right away.
Hey, M.
Yeah?
Evening.
Oh, hi.
You doing all right?
You're the first to wake? Okay. Where are you going tonight?
You know, I was thinking of making a couple downtown trips.
Well, that sounds
Some
nice.
some unfinished business I gotta get to. What's up with you? I haven't seen you in a few days.
I've been here and there doing this and that, you know, just kind of staying out of the way. Is Urien up yet?
That's a good question.
I don't want to disturb him.
Is he up yet? You know what? Let's just go check. You don't want to disturb him? I'll go ahead and disturb him.
Okay.
Benji knocks on Urien's door.
What?
Whoa. M was wanting to speak with you.
Very well. The door opens and you see that Urien is perhaps a little bit disheveled. He looks over at you, Benji, and there is a fury in his eyes. Perhaps he has arrived to a conclusion he doesn't like. But as he continues to end up closing the door behind him, locking his room, carrying that satchel with all his, well, his night reading and gear, he looks over you. What does M need?
Benji just points down to the living room to where she's pacing.
Thank you, Benji. He takes the first few steps. It takes a moment for him to go into a calm stride. So he starts going towards where M would be waiting.
And she's there, kind of having taken a seat in the front room now, on the sofa. And when she notices you, she kind of darts towards you a little bit.
I will be fine. What is it that you need, beloved M?
I've got a bad feeling.
I would think that would be the norm with you.
A bad feeling in regards to you. I don't know what it means. Just deja vu.
Deja vu. Describe it to me.
Like something is going to happen again. I don't know what it means. I
Was this in a vision?
I woke up to it.
You woke up to this feeling.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Just you said that you spoke with Baron Batista, right? That you and the others were gonna
Yes.
be there. I think it has something to do with that. I saw Delgado's face and some faces I don't recognize, and something bad's gonna happen.
Did you see anything specific? You saw Delgado's face. What about Batista? Was she there?
I don't know what she looks like. I've never met her.
Describe the faces to me.
Well, there was this beautiful Hispanic woman. She carried herself really elegantly, like she belonged there, like that
And was
was
she
hers.
showing the same concern as Delgado?
Yeah, because a certain person walked into the room and they were concerned. They looked like they weren't expecting this person, and it wasn't Hugh, and
What did this man look like?
chiseled face, graying beard, short hair.
graying beard, short hair.
Very stern eyes.
Well,
I've never seen this man before.
he arrives. Did you see anyone else? More individuals?
It wasn't clear after that. Just a sinking feeling, and it ended.
I believe that this is the during the meeting. It is Jameson that is going to show up to interrupt. Now the question here, because the concern implies that he's got something going on. There's some kind of leverage. Would I be able to do an occult roll of some sort to try and clarify this or help narrow down the details?
She provides you with as many details as she can to describe the people.
Yeah. I'm
roll
trying to
me-
interpret it, though. That's the big thing.
To interpret it. Yeah, roll me a wits plus occult. With as many details as she's provided you, that's one conclusion. Another conclusion is that maybe she is fretting over nothing. The introduction of this person might be something that's supposed to happen. With Mem's proclivities, you're not even sure that she is describing the details in 100% accuracy.
I will take it under advisement. Thank you very much.
I may have to leave.
Why?
I don't feel safe.
You do not believe I can protect you.
I believe that you can do a lot of things, and I've seen some of them. I I I just don't know what to do. I'm scared.
We all are. It is an uncertain time. And amongst anarchs, uncertainty is life. I simply try and provide some respite from it all. If you believe you are unsafe, where would you go? Where would you flee to that you would not be in danger still? Knowing the Camarilla itself is coming, and probably watching for everyone who's leaving.
Yeah.
Are you truly capable of being able to escape this place entirely? Do you have any other place to be that would give you clarity? Could we not be studying together for you to understand your visions with more wit? Was that not why you came to me? Now that you are growing, you are leaving? I cannot force you in, but I would beg you to reconsider.
I don't know how to be useful right now. You're right, I don't have anywhere else to go. You're right. It's clear that you're agitated. I'll just go to my room.
M,
Yes?
if you have a place to be, let me know. Alfonso, at the very least, deserves to be placed into care with someone who can teach him.
Right.
He would otherwise be a further marker to follow you. You know this to be true. He is not the silent type like you.
Okay. Yeah. I just need to go clear my head.
I'd like to wits insight that.
Go for it.
Two successes.
She seems to be telling the truth.
Alright. I am going to allow her to leave.
I'm not going to make the same mistake of not telling you where I'm going next time. If I leave. I haven't decided yet.
I am not here to tell you what to do. I cannot.
But I trust you.
That you'll have to pardon is under a small amount of doubt. But I will not hold it against you. He starts walking as though he's just ready to head out to the van.
And she walks back up the stairs towards her room. Benji and Amber, by the time that Urien has had this conversation with Em, both of you could have come out of your rooms and witnessed the conversation if you were coming downstairs.
Benji, still being in the area, definitely listened to the conversation. Not that he was trying to hide it or anything, but rather just tried to give them some degree of privacy while he stood around the corner. He sighs and comes back down. So, interesting night. Interesting week to come ahead, maybe.
And it's only just begun.
Yeah. Do you think she's gonna stay? Do you think she's gonna, like... Benji does a little head nod. Did you hear any of that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, bum. Do you think she's gonna stay, or do you think she's gonna, like... Benji does this little head nod to say, like, leave.
I don't... As try as I might, I expect the worst, hope for the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, So, um, it's not really our problem. I have some business going on down.
It might be.
It might be. That's true. Until I know. I got some business going on downtown later tonight. Just gotta wrap up some loose ends. You have anything going on?
Yes, actually, I scheduled a meeting for tonight. Myself, rival.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Unfortunately, I have clout she contacts, and those contacts be something that I had to gather for myself through her.
Yeah. I'm wishing you luck with that.
Yes, well, I mean, if need be, I will, do whatever is necessary to get what it is that I need.
Hmm. Benji just lifts an eyebrow at Amber. A little smirk, like, oh yeah?
Yes. See, this particular woman, Maxine, she has scorned me in the fashion world in the past. And I think that hell hath no fury. Wouldn't you say, Benji?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I'm not really a... Never mind, I can't say that.
What is it that you can't?
I was about to say I'm not really a revenge type, but I mean, lately I have been, so.
See, the thing is, this isn't vengeance. Vengeance is an ugly. This is retribution.
Retribution. What, like. Did she destroy your career or something? Like.
She's been trying. And for me, that's enough.
Okay. Alright, I got you. If you need any help with anything, give me a call.
I have you on speed dial, dude.
Cool. You have me on speed dial. Never mind. Alright. Benji peers downstairs and see what Urien is up to.
He is packing his bags. You see him placing a stake inside the bag, along with a book and several tour guide pamphlets. He's double checking. You may even see something equivalent to handcuffs inside, along with other odd sorts. He zips it up, and you can see that he struggles a bit with the weight of the bag itself. You can hear the rattling of familiar chains.
That doesn't seem good. Benji goes downstairs. He just slowly approaches Urien, hands in pocket. Got some big business going on tonight?
No. I figured I'd take in the sights. Perhaps even catch a meal.
Uh,
I'm unfocused. I am violent right now, Benji. You've already seen a small piece of that iceberg. I would not expose it to you twice, if I can help it.
that's fair.
I cannot rely on taking the blood from you or Amber. Not consistently, anyway. As much as it may assist me in the short term, the truth is that I am... I don't know. I don't know anymore. I am angry. I am wishing to lash out. I am lashing out at my own pupils. That makes for a poor teacher.
Oh. I may not catch the sentiment. Sure you don't want someone to come lash out with.
Yes, but when somebody lashes out at me, I can handle it. When I lash out, well, it is unbecoming of the image I would rather have you remember me as. So, I must hunt, I must observe, and then I must continue my study. I've lost a lot in my time, and I find myself poorly prepared for the trials that are to come. And so I must educate myself on this city, on the world around me. I must refine the gifts of my vitae. In truth, Benji, I envy you. To you, being dangerous comes natural. In your worst case scenario, even when you become a rage-filled monster, you at least can get out of it. You can push forward. And after there's nothing but blood and broken bone, and you've had your fill, you can move on with that night. For me, well, if I lose control, it is akin to folding a wet rag in half. Not much of a challenge even for a kind. The only thing I have is my wit, and I cannot afford to lose it in a moment of rage or hunger, and so it must be managed.
I see. Wow.
Do you still hate me?
At least you show me respect.
I give it where it is due, nothing more. Right now. I am still in disbelief of how my existence has turned out. If it is of any interest to you or Amber, I am heading over to the Alamo. doubt it is of interest to you two, but for me it might mean something else.
What's at the Alamo?
I don't know.
Huh.
But one of my own had mentioned that it is worth seeing. And I trust that the point was to allow me to continue my studies. More than once he had mentioned it. I can only do so much with the ward inside the cabin. I have nothing but a simple book. The rest of it is all superstitious nonsense and occult rituals written by people who believe they know what the supernatural is, reality is. It's akin to flipping a coin and believing heads is divine. It's useless. I need to find a way to refine it. Kind of looks at his hand. Oh, Benji. I envy you in this rare occasion. Mastery of your own. To be your own. Oftentimes I feel like a child or fumbling at his first quarry. Anyway, unless you two wish to accompany me, I will be off. You see him zip aside. And he pulls out a piece of black cloth. Maybe if you can see it clearly, you might notice it to be a balaclava. He zips it back up. I always hate these nights. Starts walking outside to prepare the van.
Benji follows close after. He's somewhat hunched, but he's not necessarily following Urien. He heads over to his own car and does the routine that he always watches Urien do. Checks for bugs and whatnot.
Both of you make me a resolve awareness. Nothing seems out of the ordinary.
Benji gets in his vehicle and looks at a little sticky note that he's had in his car for God knows how long. The address.
Amber, where are you headed tonight?
I need wait a little bit. Time of my meat draws closer. Maybe I might take another crack at that raw footage I've got sitting on my phone. See if I can't get that uploaded, edited and uploaded before such times I need to go and meet the darling Maxine.
Okay. Since you have a little bit of time, you can use Wits or Resolve and Technology.
I'll make it wits technology. With the digital media production specialty that I bought.
Mm.
Hi.
Yeah.
Much better than last time.
You cut together a pretty decent looking video, and you're pretty proud of it. And so, if you wanted to, you could upload it, and it would be ready for your viewers to fawn over.
Yep, it's going up.
So, the three of you have your separate meetings going on today. We're gonna quickly take a break. And when we come back, we'll see what it is that's going on between Amber, Benji, and Urien as they go their separate ways tonight. Welcome back, everyone, to San Antonio by Night, the oncoming storm. The coterie, the host, has separated into their own personal errands tonight. And so things will certainly be interesting for the individuals amongst our coterie. Urien, upon starting your routine for the day, you make contact with the individuals who seemed interested in your next Black Mass, and you have been getting in contact with your other personal contacts just to maintain what it is that you know about your domain. There are a couple of instances in which the people that have previously RSVP'd to a Black Mass are starting to decide against attending.
Any reasons as to why?
Most of them give personal reasons. Anyone who is saying that they're not going to be attending this next one coming up are giving personal reasons. One person just doesn't respond and just kind of it gives excuses after excuses, and you're not entirely sure that they're being truthful with you. And then getting contact with Levy, one of your personal contacts for getting things set up, he indicates that there have been rumors going around that the event is dangerous, that their soul is in danger.
Trent. Well, I suppose he's a shipper to the end. Well, I'll have to deal with that soon enough. I'm doing everything I can not to smash the phone to pieces after my conversation with Levy. I do not like this a bit. Need to focus. Need to feed. And I'm going to need to end up showing. I cannot think straight. I cannot end up continuing on like this. Hunting. Bring it down to basics. And we'll get through this. I have a few moments before I run to Clovis. My child should arrive. From there, well, we'll have to find out. Begin driving. I'm looking for the telltale signs. Places, particularly places that are easy to hunt. Places where I would find especially thin bloods. This age, they're all over the place like locusts. But going to need it. Blood. Vitae. A rich source of nourishment. I continue to hunt on my domain, looking for maybe evidence or someone who may have ended up having an ambulance ride recently, trying to find something to go off of something.
Could always go for any one of them. Any one of them can.
so you can erode me further. I'll do that enough on my own.
You're so hungry, though. You're going to get desperate.
You're right. You're always right. But for now, I'm not out of time yet.
You go to some of the places that you have kind of staked out and suspect that there are quite a few hunting availabilities in these particular regions. Make me a wits plus awareness.
That's as good as it's ever going to get.
You're walking around. You stop by a fairly well populated club that's in your domain, and you do your usual thing of prowling out in the back of the alleys and waiting for someone who may be taking a smoke break, who may be taking some time to get some air, maybe even indulging in some unspeakable things in the back alley. And you do find that a pair are in the alley. They come out of the club just as you're kind of sitting there skulking. Both of them look real nice.
Yes, with any of them kindred. Is their blood thin enough? That is the question.
Do you spend time just observing them, or are you attempting?
Yes.
Okay. Then
I will not rush this. I am not about to feed on a kine. I'm not about to let that bastard win.
Then make me a resolve plus insight. And if you have versus kindred, apply that too. Can't exactly be certain. There's the pair have really started to kiss one another and are looking as if they are going to do a quick one in the alley.
Take my chances at this point. I wait until the Dominator finishes. Keep a close eye on the other one to see on how they work. If they come out all woozy, well, I've seen what the feeding aftermath looks like.
And you wait.
I'm specifically looking for any kind of signs that there may be a use of the gifts. I know how to spot those.
Okay. Give me a wits occult. Just to see if you could catch it.
I will spend the willpower.
Okay. Okay. You watch. You don't see any hand motions. You don't see any anything that would suggest that this person is trying to manipulate this person's memory or their feelings or anything like that. But you do notice that the Dominator does go in for a kiss on the neck. And when they when they release them, the submissive is woozy. They look as if they are high as a kite. Some
Do
of the
I know
telltale.
this individual?
Make me a wits politics. See if you catch it.
Would
Hopefully.
my political specialty come into play here?
No.
That is a bestial success.
That is a messy crit. Okay. You don't know for certain. You've not met this person. But you have a sneaking suspicion that this is someone that may have been mentioned to you before.
What do I know about them? I imagine quite a bit. Given 7 successes.
Right? You know they're thin blood. You know that Alfonso is the one who told you about this person. That they go by the name Fox if this is the right person. Based on the description that Alfonso gave you, this is them.
Very well.
They haven't really made much of a name for themselves, but you suspect they might soon.
I start casually walking. And I grab hold of my felt marker. As they are finishing their meal, I end up placing the felt marker to a wall just opposed, so once they're finished they see what I've written. And I end up putting my mark freshly there, letting them know exactly who they are dealing with without saying a word.
However, that's a messy crit.
True. How do you want... So if I were to... Then I would probably, instead of being subtle about it, I would just start walking up to them. Who is this person to feed on my domain? Who has not so much as come to ask my permission, or seek me out, or have marked any signs that they have tried to end up making contact? Who is this thin blood? Think they are to come into my sanctuary?
It's yours. Tear them to pieces.
If it comes to that.
So you walk up to them very briskly, like not even slowing down hardly at all. You walk up to them, and with the person that they looked like they were feeding on still woozy, you take this person by the collar of their shirt and you press them up against the wall. You look as if you're gonna bare your fangs. What the fuck?
Good evening, Fox.
What the fuck?
I could ask you the same question. Do you know who I am, Fox? Take a guess.
Doyle?
That's right.
The fuck, man?
Do you know where you are?
Yeah, Alfonso said this was okay.
Alfonso said it was okay if you were to seek me out for permission to do so.
Look, I was meaning to. I was getting kind of desperate.
Yes, I imagine so.
Are you gonna at least let them go first? I know what this looks like.
Yes. You'll end up staying in my grasp, and we are going to take a walk.
Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. And so...
Not cool. Far from cool.
Right. And so Fox allows the person who they had been feeding off of regain their composure and helps them back towards the door of the bar that they came out of, and then just kind of looks at you. Okay, now what?
You have stolen from me.
Yeah, I get that.
Your life is mine.
Oh, look.
You try and run, you do not make it out of this alley. You will keep yourself calm. I will end up assisting you in a better way than what you are finding now.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't want any trouble.
Close your eyes and remain still for one moment. And I am going to use Dominate.
Okay.
I am going to willpower that if they have any better luck.
I don't have a character sheet for this person, so I'm just going to roll dice. What is the resist roll? Intelligence plus resolve?
Resolve plus intelligence.
Okay.
And they're clearly not that smart.
No. Yeah. They only have 2 successes.
That's too bad for them. As soon as they do, I am going to walk up behind them, take a slight grasp, and I am going to take from them what they have stolen from me.
And they keep their eyes closed, and they don't move, based on your orders.
I will feed from them to hunger.
Okie dokie.
Unless I feel the pull that they are about to hit torpor, and then I will stop.
They don't seem to be that close.
I stop and lick the wound. I enjoy the taste. Fox. Fascinating. Now, after a moment, I allow them to come back to wake. Now, Fox. Understand this.
Uh-huh.
I do not abide thieves. This whole mess could have been avoided. Should you have ended up taking the proper precautions and ended up getting in contact with me. You failed the first test, and I am giving you a pass, because by all rights, you should be dead. Do you understand that?
I didn't mean anything by it.
I understand that. You're desperate. You had to take an opportunity that presented itself, but you went to that one. Meaning you know that individual. You knew what you were getting involved in. Right?
Alfonso said you were cool.
I am cool when you play by the rules. Now, you have run across Urien Doyle. You have ended up wishing to end up expressing a certain intent. Consider this a second chance.
Okay.
Introduce yourself proper.
I go by Fox. What more do you want?
Good evening. My name is Fox.
Good evening. My name's Fox. I know Alfonso, and he said that you wanted to talk.
Yes, I did.
So I wanted to make sure that my head was clear. That's the reasoning.
And now, we go to clear your head proper. You wish to feed upon my domain, correct?
Yeah.
Then we will hunt another. We will feed you properly. And you will join me in a trip to the Alamo as my guest.
Alright. I don't have a reason to be at the Alamo.
You do. Because you wish to open up negotiations with me. Because you wish a place where you can feed, where everything will be cool. Right?
Yeah.
Then that is where we discuss things. And now you also know, when I state a rule, it is expected to be abided. A common courtesy. I don't step into your home and wipe my shoes upon your couch, now do I?
To be fair, I don't really have one.
You do not.
I mean, I have
Do
a
you
place
not
I
have-
sleep, but it's dodgy sometimes.
Tonight you will be my guest. We shall see if we can get you furnished with better clothes, a more solid roof over your head. You will spend an evening as my guest.
Fair enough.
Then we will consider this a rough start to the beginning of something cool.
Huh. Right.
I am no longer angry. I am, for the most part, I would like to think outside of this whole situation beginning with you poaching. It's actually gone rather smoothly for you, would you not agree?
Sure.
Honesty
That's a weird
is
way
what I
to
expect.
approach things.
Because I am small, and very few people take me seriously amongst thin bloods until I demonstrate it. I need you to take me deathly seriously. Come. You enjoy hot chocolate.
I used to.
Fantastic. Come.
And they hesitantly follow you.
And I am going to end up setting up. I'm going to end up going into that late night coffee bar that the kids like to go to with their laptops and shit.
Mm. There is one of those on the nearest corner.
Yep. I am going to end up being friendly to an individual, and I'll just end up saying, I'm going to end up having somebody order hot chocolate, and then on the way out, I'm going to feed him to Fox. And Dominate makes that a no contest.
Right. And so the coffee drinker orders a hot chocolate. They sip on it for a moment. You and Fox follow this person out, and Fox feeds from them what you had taken from them.
I always found that just after a beverage, if you catch it at the right moment, it has the right tang or sweetness to it. Do you find the same?
Yeah, there was a little bit of chocolate flavor to that. Like, just the tiniest bit.
You're still new to this, right, Fox?
I mean, that much is obvious, I think.
Yes. And you've never had an instructor. Are you like most thin bloods, where you have no real sense of where you belong and what you are? Like, do you even know who created you?
No. I don't think I was what they expected, and so I woke up one night in some hovel of a basement and have kind of been hopping places since.
Well, that life is over for you now. Would you like to know your sire?
I mean, sure. I mean, who wouldn't? But what good's that gonna do me now?
Peace of mind. I have a question answered. Yes, it will make more, but at the very least you'll know. I can do these things, you see. And many childer wander the nights without direction, without hope scraping by. My job, such as it is to change that. First and foremost, I am an educator.
Like a professor?
Something akin to that. Specifically in when it comes to kindred.
I get the sense that there's not exactly a university for this shit.
No. And this is an arrangement I have with Alfonso. Now, that being said, it is an arrangement I'm willing to extend to you. And the first of it happens tonight, a sampling of the wares. And if it is to your liking, then by all means stay. If not, no hard feelings. You go your separate way and you see if you can make it on your own. You've paid penance for your crime. I do not hold it against you any further than that.
Okay. What do you want by being so generous?
Honestly, I want there to be a place where we understand each other. Because if you knew what you really were, well, that would be dangerous to a lot of individuals. Oh, excuse me, I need to pull over here. And time to pick up the kid.
And you swing by Carlos's place, I'm assuming?
Yep.
And he's there at the bottom of the stairs waiting for you to arrive. And
Yeah.
he sees the van and starts to get in. At first going for the passenger seat, but noticing someone else is already there. So he goes into the back.
Fantastic. Carlos, meet Fox.
Hi, Fox. Hey.
Fox, much like yourself, Carlos also ended up finding me in unpleasant circumstances. But we make the most of terrible situations. Which also reminds me, Carlos, the little one, did she receive the gift that I gave you earlier? Which would probably be something like $600 from the small cut he took earlier. Just
Yeah.
to help.
Yeah, I sent it over to her mom.
I hope that is a good start.
Hopefully. Who knows what she's going to spend it on. But that's a whole nother story.
Keep me posted. Now, Carlos and me are, well, Carlos is my childer, and we are about to introduce to another member of my, I guess I'll use the term clan.
Clan?
Think of it like family. You have a mother and a father, you have a grandfather, a grandmother, etc., going way back, right?
Yeah.
Well, with something that doesn't die, that whole family tree might show up to the family reunion.
Oh, that'd be weird.
So, it's not, hence the term clan.
Got it.
Carlos here is going to meet for the first time another of his own. And hopefully, this will be an educational experience for the both of you.
Both of them kind of nod.
Very well. Carlos, are you able to spend the day at the cabin?
Spend the day at the cabin?
Yes.
Should be able to, yeah.
Fox here will need a roommate and somebody to show them around and maybe guide them to some prime hunting real estate. They are my guest for the time being, and I expect you to be held into the highest of standards of courtesy.
Alright.
And depending on how well you do, for Fox and what Fox tells me, I'll see what else I can end up doing to support the little one.
Alright.
And we're gonna head over to the Alamo, where I am pretty sure we have somebody waiting.
And so... we move over to there. Had not anticipated that Fox would need a character sheet at this point, but here we are.
Urien's hungry. Somebody's getting nom nom.
Yep.
And
so
now,
go ahead.
no, by all means.
I was just saying. So you arrive at the parking lot for the Alamo, and waiting there by his own vehicle is Clovis. He doesn't notice you at first, and, well, he notices the car pull up, but he doesn't make a movement to intercept you at all.
He exits the vehicle and tells Fox and Carlos to end up staying right behind him, specifically keeping Carlos on his right-hand side.
All right.
When he approaches, he is very happy. He smiles at Clovis. Clovis, thank you very much for accompanying me.
I'm glad to have this opportunity to give you the grand tour.
I hope you don't mind. I wish to end up inviting two others who I believe would benefit from, well, appreciating the beauty and history of the city that they occupy. Allow me to introduce you. A honored guest in my domain, Fox, and my child, Carlos.
Childer. That's
Yes.
interesting.
Unfortunate circumstances required, but I am not so cruel as to just embrace and cast one off.
Fair enough. It's a pleasure to meet you both. And Fox just kind of nods, and Carlos actually gives Clovis a handshake.
I smile at Carlos. I'm very approving of this behavior. Carlos has not begin to study the delicacies of his gifts just yet,
Ah,
but his eyes are coming along quite nicely. And speaking of which, I end up using Sense the Unseen as we're going through to get a better understanding of what I'm actually looking at.
okay. You open your senses to the unseeable by the naked eye. And you do see that there are many little fragments of things. You see what could have potentially be something to interact with, but it seems like these fragments of the ethereal have been here so long that there may not be much to garner from them.
They are not cognizant of their own. Well. Oh, very well. I should suspect something like this would happen. Still, it is a miraculous sight, Clovis. Oh, that also reminds me. He opens up his book, or opens up the bag, and offers Clovis the book he ended up lending him.
Ah,
It
yes.
has been a phenomenal aid in my study, and I hope to continue it as such.
It is actually something that I was meaning to give to you probably about a week and a half ago. I have another one for you to maybe sink your teeth into.
I appreciate the humor. Yes, of course.
And he hands you a significantly smaller book. But it looks as if inside there are some handwritten notes. You've thumbed through the pages, and it's a fairly mundane book, but it looks like there are plenty of scrawlings and notes inside.
I appreciate this, Clovis. Where did you arrive at such a treasure?
It is one of my own personal, actually.
When I have a place that is far more secure, I may end up taking upon the study myself. As of right now, I do not feel creating a repository of such knowledges would be wise.
Well, you're free to borrow it. There might be something insightful inside.
And how do your studies go? He begins to walk.
They they're coming along. Not as
Pharmaceuticals, if I recall.
yes, I definitely have an interest in the things that may or may not alter one's mental state. Actually, I specifically look into things that treat mental illness, much as Dr. Christensen does.
Mm, that explains quite a bit. So, with that being said, you have spoken several times that the Alamo is a must-see attraction. And I assume for more reasons than simply the national treasure that this has become.
Hmm. Well, the actual building has been restored and is slightly off center from where uh, the original event took place, but there are plenty of spirits that, yeah, as you can see, that they're kind of fragmented and things. But there are a couple that are worth talking to. Give you maybe a bit of a story.
I hope to end up hearing one worth the tale. Carlos,
Mm.
do you see what dearest Clovis is talking about?
No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Spirits? What the fuck?
It's quite alright. It is often unnerving when you don't know. Everyone manifests their abilities differently. He kind of looks over to Fox just to double check to see if Fox is still paying attention or if Fox is smart enough to start picking up on little things in the conversation without opening their mouth.
They're definitely looking between everyone as they're speaking. It's not obviously said anything really, and is just kind of observing for now.
Well, I have. Oh, I do apologize. Um, I am currently looking about trying to ascertain wards or specters that may be still intact enough to speak with. But I am still keeping on the conversation with Clovis.
Hmm.
Insight into the research and how he has been handling the current rumor mill. I might even make a veiled reference to the Chantry and its ongoings, especially given the Camarilla involvement in the city. If he has been tempted to return.
The and he goes on to, as surreptitiously as you do, he does kind of mourn the idea that a chantry isn't really a thing in an anarch society. He misses the kind of communal structure of it, but he doesn't miss the bullshit.
Well, when he comes into his own and has managed to put particular things back to rest, my intention is to end up teaching Carlos. And I wish to end up knowing a different way. He turns to speak as though to clarify. Our particular family is very big on secrets when it comes down to our particular gifts. Fox may not know them, but I know Carlos has seen them. There are several gifts that I would rather teach you, Carlos. But first and foremost, I wish to end up making sure that you learn to end up being self-sufficient without, for they can be quite taxing. In fact, I may end up showing you an example of it in the near future, if Fox would permit the demonstration. After our visit to the Alamo.
And with the tour being close to the public, Clovis kind of walks you all around the perimeter, trying to stay outside of the actual building itself, as the history and things of that sort inside are definitely worth looking at. What he directs you to is a spot just about half a block away from the building itself. And as he said before, the
original Alamo has been moved.
And so he directs you to this particular spot, and there does seem to be a more solidified spectral being there. It doesn't seem to notice that you're there at the moment, or that it cares that you're there. It just seems to be meandering.
Tell me, are appropriate words to be worn when visiting here without supervision?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
I have made it a point of studying, and, well, let us just say that more than one old ghost has shown up in the recent nights. And I found that they are, well, I wonder if they are temperamental, especially given how they died.
I would say that warding isn't necessary in many cases, but some of them are easily spooked. And this particular individual I have spoken to myself on occasion. Rather pleasant individual, actually. Can't remember their name, though. Well, they can't remember their name. They remember the story.
Then let us meet this John Doe.
And so you go to... You slowly approach with Carlos and Fox at their proper sides, flanking you. And you introduce yourselves to this entity. And when you do speak up toward them, they respond with, "Good evening."
We are friends of, well, I suppose you already know Clovis.
We've met.
Oh, you are a fascinating individual already. I think we'll become fast friends. Allow me to introduce myself. Urien Doyle, at your service. Kind of takes a glance over at Fox and Carlos, who is probably clearly looking at him talking to air. Clovis probably being the only one who's actually following the other side of this conversation.
Carlos definitely looks pretty dumbfounded, looking over to Fox occasionally. It's like, I'm not fucking seeing anything. What can I do for you? What do you want?
I wish to understand the city and its past. I wish to honor it proper. And not through pages of reworked history, but through the individuals who have lived it. I wish to gain knowledge of fighting a superior foe. And I wish to end up learning from the triumphs and mistakes of the past. If we do not learn from them, then we are condemned to repeat them, are we not?
Yes, you would be wise. And so, because I haven't actually prepared this,
Oh, you can cut away. You can definitely cut away.
you and Clovis and by proxy Carlos, or you Clovis and by proxy Carlos and Fox all listen to this tale of a man who fought valiantly against a foe much bigger than him and still lost. For now, we're going to leave that scene. And we're going to join Benji. Benji, you were heading out into the city as well.
I was indeed. Got a big plan tonight. We'll see if I can follow through. You know, without making a big fucking mess. Left the paper on the dashboard. It's the address Emmanuel told us ages ago, but at this point, I'm just... What this is at this point is following through. I'm ending a fight that I started quite a while ago. Carlos and Emmanuel. And now, I'm just finishing it. So, driving there now. As far as plans are, I only have a few vague ideas, but nothing that's particularly long-term.
So you drive out to this place. It is in what you could tell is Jameson's domain. It's about as crack-denny as Emmanuel described it way back when. There are people who sell, who use, who distribute, who are simply there existing. Some of them look like they've been there a while.
Barely hanging on the streets. Fuck. Kind of reminds me of Bobby. He used to be a user back in high school. I worked really hard to get him out of that. God, he was a bastard the whole fucking way through, though. Real jackass. I'm sure he's still got some addictive tendencies. Never really checked in on him in a while. I should make sure he's okay. You know, after I make sure I'm okay.
Who is Bobby to you?
He's my old friend. We've known each other since we were kids. He's kind of an asshole, not very smart, but he's fucking funny. I don't know. We used to get in trouble a lot together. I still get in trouble a lot, and I'm sure he does too. I like to think, though, that I was the responsible one. I went ahead and chose to try and make something out of this dumbass power I have, and strength I already possessed. He was always the fast one, but I don't know what he's doing with that. I don't know if he's doing anything. I really haven't texted him in a while. Or called him or anything. Huh. Maybe we can play video games.
Perhaps.
In any case, looking at the place, what exactly do I see? I'm trying to look around. I'm trying to see if there's any, well, for starters, if there's any sort of like guard or indication of security. And then the second thing I'm looking for is maybe someone like me. Or maybe something a little less like me. An inviso bitch if it's possible to see one, but
Give me a wits plus awareness. Or resolve, your choice. Looking around, quickly glance at at everything that's going on here. You see this place reeks of weed, primarily. There's a little bit of a scent of other things, but that's what you notice first off because it is rank.
just weed. I'm gotta find something to subdue those cravings, I guess.
You don't really see anyone who looks like they're posing as a guard per se, but there is someone who is just kind of leaning up against the wall of this particular building, smoking a cigarette or a blunt. You're not entirely sure from this distance.
Is he wearing any sort of insignia, gang signs, or anything like that? Maybe colors?
Give me... Let's see what you know about colors in this city. Give me an intelligence plus streetwise. Okay. And give me a high or low.
We'll go low. Son of a bitch.
When looking at this particular individual, you do recognize that while you do recognize that yes, they do look and appear with colors of a particular gang, but it's one that's fairly small. You know that in this city there are some major players in the underworld, but this particular person does not look to be a member of such. They're more of an ancillary group or a group that works on their own in their own kind of niche market.
Do I not know their names?
I don't have names for gangs in cities.
No, like east side, west side kind of stuff. Nothing like that.
This particular individual seems to belong to a group that remains local to the south side of San Antonio.
Southside Sands. Got it.
It's a smaller group that's probably doesn't, as far as territory is concerned, doesn't span more than a couple of miles in any one direction.
I'm presuming this is what Ghost is all about. Fucker ass gal. He had some sort of connection to these guys, but if this goes off well, I'm gonna be their boss. If.
So how do you plan on weaseling into that position?
The only way I know how. Rather than covering myself up, actually, I will cover myself up. And go ahead, take out my bandana, around my face, hood up, the works. Just enough to obscure the general identity.
You are sufficiently obscured.
Go ahead, get out my car. And go on and walk right up to this just guy standing out side of the den.
He just kind of looks you up and down, kind of places, like walks up towards you and places a hand on your chest. What do you think you're doing, man?
Hey, my name is Big B. I'm here in representation of Emmanuel.
Emmanuel. Okay. Cool.
Guy got into some wreck, called me in.
So he's got you replacing him?
That's right. You gonna show me in?
We hire from the inside, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
How about this? You show me in because I'm in tight with Ghost.
You're in tight with Ghost.
I am.
It's a name you don't just sling around every willy-nilly.
Benji just grabs his arm and shoves him. You're gonna take me in.
I would like you to make me a manipulation plus intimidation. He kind of when you take his arm and you kind of pin him up against the side of the building, he instantly just kind of pulls a breath in and just kind of gasps. All right, okay, you want in?
You want the gist of it? Do I need to make it clear? I have some really private conversation and this is conversation that's got a lot to do with Ghost. Coming straight between him and me. So you're gonna take me in there, and we're gonna have this conversation when we're not out in the fucking street. Sound good?
Look, man, I'm just watching the door. The person that you want to talk to is like Emmanuel's second.
What's his name?
Jesus.
Jesus. He's inside?
Yeah, he should be here today. Jesus, man. What the fuck?
You should really rethink your career. Benji goes ahead.
Says the man who can toss ghosts.
Is the door unlocked?
You go, and the door is locked, but the person that you were just had pinned gives it a knock, and there's another person who opens the door. They have a little bit of a conversation back and forth about why you're being let in, and it kind of looks a little bit heated.
Does he invite me in or not?
He's hesitant to. He doesn't want to. What do you do about it?
Benji shoves his way in anyways. Foot in the door.
What the fuck, man? And everybody's just kind of, everybody who's there is just kind of gets up from their seats, and they look like they are pulling knives.
Benji shuts the door behind him, slams it. So now that we're all together, how many people are there?
Half a dozen?
6? Okay.
6 to 8?
6 to 8. Sure.
There's a couple of places where you think there might be somebody behind the couch, but you can't be positive.
Can I make a quick check?
If you want to do that, that will be a wits plus awareness.
All right.
There is one person behind the couch. They kind of look like they're getting up from a stupor, supposedly. They're also looking like they're ready to fend you off if there's an altercation.
All right. Benji relaxes himself, rolls his shoulders around. Well, that being said, thank you for having me here tonight, gentlemen. I'd like to make an agreement with you. Let me explain the circumstances.
You better talk quick, says a voice coming down from upstairs. And you can plainly tell that this person has a piece on him.
Benji just side-eyes him. So does that make 8?
That makes 8.
That makes 8. The situation here, right now, is pretty simple. Your boss, Ghost, fucked up. He fucked up big time. My name is Bigby, and I'm here acting as a cleaner. Now, of course, as a cleaner, I want to make things as little mess as possible.
Nobody's
So
told
with
me
that-
shit.
Well, of course he wouldn't, because he doesn't want to lose his product. That's why I'm here. Your guy was messing on turf that he shouldn't have. Your boss, Ghost. Because of that, he now owes a heavy, heavy price. With a much bigger group than any of you even fucking comprehend.
That's some big talk for some nobody. Who do you represent?
El Diablo de San Antonio.
Uh-huh. Are you bullshitting?
I'm not.
As in, that's me, the storyteller, asking you to make a subterfuge roll?
I'm not. Benji's working with the devil of San Antonio.
Who is the devil of San Antonio?
Who you think?
Hello.
I'd still call for a subterfuge roll. Make me
Alright.
Make me manipulation plus subterfuge.
I'm gonna activate Daunt really quick.
Remind me
Can
again.
I make this?
Daunt affects intimidation rolls, if I'm not mistaken.
It does indeed. But now it makes him sound spooky.
Okay, it'll make you sound spooky, but it will not add you bonus to this roll.
I know. Benji tightens up. His face changes into something dark.
Oh, that's the wrong thing. I keep hitting the wrong button. Let's get D10s in here. Come on, there we go.
I'm willing to use willpower on this.
You don't actually have dice to re-roll, and you're the attacker in this
No?
particular regard, so you win.
Oh, do I?
You win on a tie when you're the attacker.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Oh, wait, no? If they're doing an insight roll, they're the attacker. They win.
Alright.
You see this guy's hand get ever so closer to his piece. I've never heard of this Diablo de San Antonio.
You wouldn't,
Oh.
because you're small time. But you stepped into something a bit too big. So let me make it clear to you all. And this is where Benji's face turns dark. His energy changes into something fierce and terrible. Almost like his shadow, his silhouette looms. Let me make it entirely clear to you. I'm here being the nice guy. But force my hand, and I promise you that I will bring you to El Diablo de San Antonio. And if I have to, if I even have to consider it, your little operation is over. More than likely, so are most of you.
Okay. Then make me a charisma plus intimidation plus daunt. Ooh. That's a messy crit. And these are mortals. Are you wanting to keep that messy crit?
He's just intimidating them.
A messy
Potentially with his fangs.
Oh, okay. Well, his face is covered, so...
There's other supernatural means by which you can be intimidating them in this moment. Do you want to keep your messy crit?
God, fine. I'll re-roll it.
It's up to you.
Do I just re-roll one die?
If that's all you want to fix.
Yeah.
Okay.
That didn't work.
So, what that does is it takes that 10 and turns it into a failure, so you still only have the 4 successes.
Alright.
Oh, you have 2 10s in there. I will... You would... To get rid of the messy crit entirely, you would have had to roll 2 dice, so I will let you do over the willpower reroll,
Oh, okay.
or do 1 additional willpower reroll dice.
I'll just do 1 additional.
Okay. So it turns both of those 10s into failures, so that turns it into only 3 successes. So, your eyes go cold, and that kind of bandana and hood kind of combination just kind of darkens your face as you sink your chin and kind of look like you're standing up a little straighter. And you see them cower a second. Okay. You'd want to get rid of some small-time gang that's not really doing anything except what we want to do.
You didn't even hear me out. Here is the deal. The compromise that I'm willing to make with
Okay. Mr. Cleaner.
You start working for the Devil of San Antonio. You swear fealty to that.
Mm-hmm.
You can take higher percentages of what you earn than whatever the fuck Ghost is suggesting. I'll get you a new location, and you'll be under my protection. If you don't, I can promise you this. Ghost is gonna be dead in a few weeks anyways. And then we're coming for you.
He wants to insight check you.
You can?
Are you being
That's
truthful?
I'm genuinely telling him what I'm going to do. Yeah.
Okay. Then he's like, all right. So you want to pull us up from underneath Ghost?
It's the least messy option.
And you say we're gonna get a bigger cut than 90%?
You can take the full 100. I just get a say in where you're dealing.
That sounds like a bad deal for you.
I'm not in it for the money. I get paid already as it is.
And we'll have the clientele to sell to.
I can guarantee.
Why? Out of the generosity of your heart, where do you want to do that?
It's simple. I'm putting you in the neighborhoods where I need. The Devil of San Antonio needs your cooperation. If you'll allow it.
Then I want to meet this Devil of San Antonio.
It can be arranged. Define the time and place. Actually, give me your number.
Okay.
Give me a number I can contact you by. And when he's ready, and he's available, I'll pass him to you.
Alright. And he scribbles his number on a piece of napkin and gives it to you.
Glad we could find an agreement here.
Yeah.
I hope you're excited. You're gonna be making some big fucking money.
Just a question. Where are you based out of?
The city.
Duh, everybody is.
All right.
Where in the city? I want to know that my product's actually going to start moving better than it is here.
ST,
Mhm.
if I might ask a question,
Sure.
what is Batista's area considered called again?
There isn't really a name for the different domains. It is, she controls downtown and a lot of the east side. Delgado controls a lot of the west side, and Jameson controls much of the south side of San Antonio.
All right.
And the north is kind of split between Batista and Delgado.
Benji just goes ahead, nods, north side. We'll be stationing you up there.
Ain't nobody gonna be wanting to buy a product up there. That's all rich ass people.
Who the fuck you think has money to buy?
Man, I deal in weed. I don't deal in shit like cocaine.
First of all, allow me to guarantee you, if there's one thing some rich bitches like, it's weed, it's cocaine, it's product. I know this for a fact. Rich people like illegal shit.
Uh-huh.
But if you don't trust us, if you genuinely don't think this is going to work and you don't have any faith, then maybe you want the alternative option.
Which is, you're gonna destroy everything that's here right now.
We can leave you to dust and leave you with nothing. Not even your lives.
Wow. Okay.
You're
threatening people now.
Yes, promising you a threat. You take it or you leave it. Right now, your options are working a lot better to be going with us.
I don't like your tone. You mean to tell me that my people, I'm going to be risking my life, my livelihood in this particular business, which you have no stake in because you're fucking new?
I'm not new. I don't think you understand. The devil of San Antonio is as far stretched as Jackson. You can either buck up or shut up. You're small time, and I'm offering you a gig that you cannot pass up. Because if you do, I can guarantee you, you are in our way. And you will be eliminated. Those are your options. Take it or leave it.
Make me a manipulation plus persuasion.
Hold on. It did not roll dice for persuasion.
Do you have dots in persuasion?
I have 1 dot in persuasion.
And you rolled 3 dice. You have 2 dots in manipulation?
No. Wait, yes. Damn it. I thought I had more. Alright, never mind.
He just kind of looks at you. need some big talk. Alright. I give you a week. I'm not making much more. I'm leaving.
You'll be surprised. Benji goes ahead, sees himself out. One more thing. What's your name again?
Jesus.
Jesus. You should watch yourself. Because there's a lot bigger fish in the sea than you. And closes the door. And with that, Benji returns to his vehicle, doesn't take off his mask, but does one quick glance over, see if he can find anything before he gets in. Just checking the car.
Okay. You check the car. Make me a wits plus awareness. Nothing looks amiss.
Benji's gonna think about it. And he's gonna return to the meeting house. So he can make a couple calls first. He remembers Urien was going to be busy that night. He goes ahead, goes inside the cabin, locks the door.
By the time you get out of your car, you realize that you have a flat tire.
Typical. Benji inspects it really quick. Was it slashed?
Kind of just looks like the peg that goes into the tire was compromised and let all the air out as you were driving.
Would have cost me more if he just slashed the damn thing. Word of note. If you're gonna go out of your way to take one, you should take 3. Benji returns to the cabin, locks the door immediately behind him, and he goes down to the basement of the cabin and starts
doing what? I'm sorry?
He goes down to the basement of the cabin. He starts messaging Urien. Just basically messages, I have some news. I may need your help.
Just as a point, Urien doesn't carry a cell phone.
Oh, shit, that's right. Alright, never mind. He messages Amber.
Alright. Anything else you plan to do, Benji?
I got done what I got done.
Okay. So you make your way to finish out the rest of your rounds for the nights.
I guess I'm staying here for the evening.
If you want, you could head back to the regular haven.
With a flat tire? Probably not.
Seems so. Amber.
I do message Amber and tell her I may need a ride.
Yeah.
Amber, after a bit, you are looking to do a couple of things tonight as well.
So yeah. My fans have content, and I have a Maxine me.
There's a particular username that seems to pop up fairly frequently when it comes to posting new content, and they're always the first to leave a comment. This person has been in your DMs on Instagram, on TikTok, on whatever social media that you tend to use. You've blocked them several times, but they keep coming back with new usernames, and you know that it's the same person because it's the same verbiage. But this person is insistent on meeting you. What do you do?
Of course. Things can never be that easy, can they?
Never
Well,
can.
I have a Maxine going. Oh,
See, good old Maxine.
hmm.
Let's see. I think I have an asset for Maxine. And you're going to meet her at her office? Or at her home? Where are you meeting her? Where did you decide to meet her?
We set up a meeting in one of the parks. Have a chat.
Ah, yes. And when you arrive, she is there waiting for you. Just kind of sitting in her dark makeup, her dark dress, her dark hair. That goth fashion model aesthetic that she tends to adorn most evenings. Where you're the fabulous pale with white hair. She's everything dark. It's like you're the opposite sides of a coin.
I mean, I thought about dyeing my hair black once, but I'm sure that would get under her skin something shocking.
Quite possibly.
Just another reason why I've been thinking about it.
But she sees you as you're walking towards her. Amber Dupree.
Maxine! So good to see you.
Quite.
Oh, you and...
You're cutting out on me real bad.
Yes, because Discord is chucking a fit. I thought maybe we could have a chat.
Oh, about what?
Oh, just about the places we find ourselves, things have, the things we want.
Uh-huh.
I mean, as much as you and I have had disagreements.
You've stolen a few of my ideas and claimed them for yourself, so yes, I am upset at you.
And you have done. Our society and industry has cut. But that's the point. Point is, in the end, a little bit of quid pro quo never hurt anyone. You say?
Quid pro quo. You want to maintain the status quo. You want to not ripple the waters between us and maybe come to some kind of agreement in which we can work together. Is that
I
what
would
you're
think-
getting at?
I was thinking maybe an arrange of some, not necessarily that deep, although if you are willing to put that up, then I'm willing to play ball in negotiation. There is-
I am getting every fourth word.
Yes, I know. 490 ping. Alright, let's see if moving up here. Let's see if that'll change. I do a little bit of movement. How is this? Better?
Better.
Alright, so I will stay. Well, I wasn't going to go that far. But, if you are willing to play ball, I am willing to put it on the table, Dig. I'm not an unreasonable woman.
What do you propose, then?
I propose a sharing of assets.
Uh-huh.
See, I had the idea of maybe getting a proper agent stuff here in San Antonio.
A proper agency.
I've
And-
got the status, but I'll tip my hand a little, say that my contact web is a little lacking.
How sad for you.
Thing is, when we talk about that, you might not have as much clout as I do, the contact. So what I was maybe if interested in this venture, get status, I contact, we both get up, both get money. It's in the end that's what it's about, right? All about the Benjamin.
See, this is why having a little bit of patience would actually do you some good. Because it's not about the quick and easy get famous on the different social media. No, it's about thinking about your future and the long haul and how it is that you're going to survive when Instagram eats the dust.
Well, that's why
And why should I help you? Why should I help you solidify yourself a little bit further into this industry?
because not without it perks for you.
The way I see it, I'm going to outlast you. Just give you a few more months. You'll burn out. You'll become as important as a no-named person in a band who just plays an instrument and has no face of their own. You'll be obsolete. I kind of relish that day, actually.
I knew you would think like that.
I mean, why wouldn't I? It means that there's a possibility that I could slip into that radar. I'm patient. So, your
Possibly.
proposal had better have a very huge payout for me if I'm going to hand you any kind of contact that I know that will increase your clout and fill your pockets much further.
Simple, Max. I'm talking setting up. You in on the top floor from the beginning.
Just so that I can watch the whole thing crash and burn.
Well, here's the thing. If it provides enough interest, you won't have to.
So tell me, Amber, how do you plan on getting this off the ground? You don't strike me as a businesswoman of any kind. You have your Patreon to do that.
Oh, I know people.
Uh-huh. Then why do you need me?
Because those people are businessmen and not in the fashion.
You're cutting out again.
Men, not in the fashion industry. They've got the knowledge to keep the business side up. They're not forward thinking fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Call it a first step into entrepreneurial and
It's bold. I'll give you that. It's bold to want to venture out and try and establish an agency when you barely have gotten your feet wet in the industry itself.
oh, we're talking fashion. I've been around for a very long time.
Well, I shall have to give it some thought. After all, it means that it's one of those things in which you are asking a lot of me, and I'm getting very little out of it.
What do you consider very little, Maxine?
Money's all well and good, status is all well and good. I want longevity.
I want longevity.
I want to be the face of your company. If you're going to start up a company and you're looking to promote other industry professionals, you are starting an agency after all.
Quite. Does. But I'd put like this. Longevity. Write yourself a history. Fashion forward icon. You want to be an iconoclast? Simple. Do something nobody can. Can't do that without back. Proper. And whilst you and I may agree on many things, sure one thing might be able that to ambition and thrive, I have it faith. Wouldn't you?
I'm getting half of your words.
Yeah, I don't know why. Discord, stop it. Stop dropping. Alright, Looks like it's work stable now. Okay. I'll like turn down the sensitivity of my mic. That helps. Alright, how's this? Better?
Yes.
Alright. I swear I'm gonna punt my mic into the ceiling. One thing that I'm sure you and I could both agree on, Maxine, despite our various other disagreements, is that when it comes to drive and ambition, it's something that I have in spades.
Hmm.
I will see this through. It's just a matter of whether you want on to the bandwagon or you don't.
I've seen how quickly you go through phases. You never seem to stick with one thing. So,
Variety is the spice of life.
of course. But it's an interesting proposal. I'll have to give it some thought.
Do that.
I'll have my people contact your people.
Please do.
And try not to start a GoFundMe.
Amber just laughs at that. Maxine, you ruined me. GoFundMe's us for desperate hacks. No, if I was to do anything, I'd start an Indiegogo.
Find some capital, maybe we'll talk.
Well, if we're looking capital, wow. I think I might have something in mind. Keep your eyes peeled.
And she gets up from her seat at the bench and begins to walk away.
Oh, and Maxine?
Mm-hmm.
Amber looks over with that a very very persuasive looking that smooth look that she knows how to put on so well, and she goes, make sure that you give it some proper thought, won't you?
And she just turns to walk away, leaving you sitting on that bench as well.
And I'm guessing it will be it'll be a little time before Amber gets that text from Benji.
It's about when she leaves, shortly after she leaves, and you're making your way back to your car, that you get that message from Benji.
She unlocks her phone, looking at the thing. She chuckles. It's like, oh dear. Right. And she'll head out to the cabin to go pick up Benji.
Alright. Is there anything else the three of you want to do tonight?
I believe Benji was waiting for me.
Yes. All of you would eventually meet up actually at the meeting house, because Urien had a plan to leave Carlos and Fox there. And Benji's waiting there for Amber to give him a ride.
Well. Hey, you're here. Benji stands up and, like, wipes any dust he has on him.
It's good to see you, Benji.
Yeah.
Allow me to introduce you to Fox, a house guest.
Hey.
And of course, you remember Carlos.
Of course, I remember Carlos. Hi, Carlos.
Hey.
Fox. Good to meet you. And Benji walks up and holds out his hand.
Fox, for a second, hesitates, but then takes your hand.
His grip is firm. He does a good shake and steps back,
Damn.
recognizing her apprehension.
Well, Carlos will be spending the evening with Fox, getting them up to speed on how we do things here. And I figured we might need to end up getting a hold of Amber, see if we can end up helping Fox out with some accommodations. I find it distasteful that a thin blood that has come to me in good graces will end up spending a night in a hovel. It is unsettling to me. So I'm hoping that you will be able to make it work. But that's details for later. I promised a demonstration. Benji, would you like to see a trick?
And it's about that
Always.
time Amber arrives in the cabin as well.
Oh, fantastic. The gang's all here. -1, unfortunately. Amber, Fox, Amber.
Hi.
Pleasure.
Fox is a thin blood that will be staying in the cabin with Carlos for tonight. Everybody deserves at least a single night, not having to worry about the sun. That being said, Fox. I will not ask you to do this duress. However, this trick requires. He pulls out a small blade. Really, it's maybe a slightly larger pocket knife, but he places it on the table. A tiny amount of your blood, droplet or two. You're gonna love this. Come down to the basement. Carlos, I understand your apprehension, but you might enjoy this trick.
Okay. And the two of them go to follow you.
Amber, Benji, come. It's time to have a seance.
Benji's following along behind. He steps alongside with Amber and he kind of whispers to Amber, he's so energetic. I kind of like it.
Likewise.
Okay. Now, when they come down, what they obviously see is the chair with the bike chain around the post in the center of the room, and before it is a pentagram with various runes and symbols written into it. He gestures for Fox to hand him a small bit of Fox's blood.
Is that a rouse check's worth, or is that just a...
Just a small amount. I do not need a rouse check first.
Okay. And so they go to do so and kind of let a couple of drops drip into a container. Are you just dripping it into a container of some kind?
Yep.
Okay.
It's probably, honestly, this might be hilarious in the fact that it's little more than a coffee cup. I believe it reads Tim Hortons. um, whoever that would be. But clearly, Mr. Horton did not need his cup. But
Apparently not.
after doing so, he kind of divines into it and starts to recite these prayers to Baphomet, to oh Satan, oh son. And after a moment, going to use blood sorcery blood walk to enhance taste for blood.
That does require a browse check from both the user and the person that you are describing, that you're taking blood from.
Hmm? If I'm going to double check that, but I am fairly certain that does not require a rouse check. Oh, the blood potency, a taste for blood is free.
Taste for blood is free, but I don't think blood walk is.
Blood walk
needs-
is just needs silver cup from. Oh yeah, it requires one rouse check's worth of blood from the individual.
Yeah, from the individual.
Okay,
You're
no, that was my mistake.
okay. I will roll them my rouse.
Oh, they're still better off tonight than they used to be, and a small amount of blood will certainly help with his own. That being said, I am going to begin the rouse check. Or not the rouse check, the roll. And I am definitely spending willpower on that.
Okay.
On a Hail Mary of getting a crit. Still, 4 gets me along quite a bit. So I know the name of the subject sire and this person's generation. And as well, I know that they're supernatural. Tasting the Vite also determines the relative blood potency, which I'm assuming is 0 if they are true thin blood. Either that or I've just made a hell of a discovery. The user knows the supernatural. Alright. Okay. Yep.
Name of the sire.
Now, I'm going to assume that you haven't gotten that far with Fox just
I
yet.
have not.
So I'm not... Rather than trying to make it up on the fly, I just tell them. And if it becomes relevant, I note the information by free. But I explain to them their exact position. Where they would stack on the totem pole in relative to Carlos. As far as generation, express that power. And at that point, I end up here finishing the ritual. Letting Fox have a better understanding of themselves.
That's really weird. That you know that just by drinking my bloods. What kind of weird thing is that?
There's a lot of weird things I can do. One of my favorites is when somebody makes me angry, I end up making them bleed out their eyes. I can be a very good friend, or I can be a very vicious enemy. Right now, you are my friend. A individual coming of need. I will provide information to the best of my ability. Blood, should you require it. assistance in hunting if you wish, and perhaps even help you get set up. But I don't say that this is on a point of good grace. I'm very much in league with Satan. Good grace does not apply with me. But what does is I am looking for individuals who have an interest in keeping this little piece of sanctuary in good graces. Much like Alfonso. Alfonso spoke highly of you.
Yeah, he's been interesting to talk to.
Alfonso knows more and is wiser than he may appear. He is the reason that you are very much still amongst the surface rather than, well, let us not speak of such horrible things this night. It is a celebration. But, what is the expression? Me casa su casa.
Right. Okay.
Now, how about you stay down here? Carlos, why don't you assist the young gentleman? Discuss what your findings are. You two have a lot in common right now. And
Alright.
I will talk about it later. I must convene with Benji and Emperor. My two other pupils that I have been raising.
You kind of have a
One-
college going on here then.
Yes. And it is free to all who ends up knowing to assist. And I go out of my way to make sure that they land on their feet. I have a vested interest in this domain. The rules are the rules for a reason. And those who would help enforce it, well, I reward greatly.
Fox just turns to Carlos, and Carlos kind of shrugs and pulls them aside to have a conversation.
And it goes to Amber and Benji. Sorry about that. I do not have Amber's flair for the dramatics. Working on it.
I mean, you did
You
a
won't
cool.
hear any complaints from me.
So, anybody wish to press upon the horrible end that is coming? What has fallen apart this time, and what the holes I need to fill now? Sorry, it's been one of those weeks.
I get it. I made a deal. And by deal, I mean more. So, the whole group that I was chasing some time ago started with Carlos and then Emmanuel.
The gangsters.
Yeah, finally met up with their second in command, basically told him, hey, we're gonna undermine Ghost. And I'm gonna set you up in a new place, you're gonna make a...
That's quite the boast.
Yeah.
So,
My idea is that maybe in exchange for dealing with this escort for Delgado and Batista, they'll give me some small slice of heaven in between those two that could act as the mediary ground, the neutral zone for their new allyship. And there I can set these guys up for shop.
mm-hmm.
And then it'll be able to draw in. I mean, they just deal weed. There's a lot of people who smoke weed.
Perhaps. The hard part, I imagine, is moving product. Supply, demand.
It's true.
It's something I can assist you with. And Amber, I trust your evening has fared far better.
Oh, I had a meet up with a rival of mine to discuss some mundane happenings that I wish to get onto.
Such as?
I have this little side project going on that I've told you about it, that I want to open that modeling agency.
Ah, yes, the Book of Faces.
Yes, the Book of Faces. It's a rather uncouth way to put it, but I suppose in reality,
Is
you are
something
calling it
funny,
what it
Benji?
is.
No, just continue. Is Book of Faces. It's an interesting term.
It is, but if I'm being honest, it is something that I'd like to get on to doing because I think it might be able to provide some very non-mundane benefits, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
But no, I simply had to talk to her. Talk that despite our disagreements in the past, that I have the status and she has the contacts, and that maybe getting in on this little bandwagon might not be such a bad idea for her.
Fantastic. Keep me appraised. I
I
would
shall.
look forward to seeing anything else that you can end up, well, appropriating.
Hmm.
Is there anything I can do to assist you two?
Currently not yet, but if Maxine decides to not play nice, then I'll have to move to rougher measures.
Who would not play nice with you?
Ah, Mr. Doyle, the fashion industry is exceptionally cutthroat, and Maxine, it wouldn't be far to say that she is to put it nicely, a bona fide piece of work. I could think of some words that are much more apt but a lot nastier to refer to her.
Perhaps. Nevertheless, I will appreciate all that you can inform me of. We require focus on preparation for the Camarilla. Any little bit helps.
That it does, and one thing that modeling agencies drum up more than anything is a massive rumor mill.
I look forward to it. That being said, have you had any contact with the policeman?
Yeah, not just yet. I had a look around. He doesn't seem to be around at the moment, but I am looking for him such that I can set up that chance encounter, as you put it.
Not a problem. Well, that is a lie. I have to deal with a priest very soon. Seems to wish to interfere with my scheduled mass. The one I intended for to make you center stage of. More's the pity, I suppose. It's a shame that I am not able to drum up such followings of great groups. But
Mr. Doyle, my following, whilst it is large, it is not one to be proud of. Trust me, there are many things that I could show you that would prove that.
well,
So many dick pics. So many.
depravity is its own art. Is there anything else, Benji, that you wish to bring to light?
I should mention, uh, in order to help convince these guys, this group, isn't primarily their human in command, Jesus, I had to bring up sort of this Shadow Lord figure identity. I was thinking of something to kind of feel like the Mafia, but then we don't really have an influence just yet. So I told them they would meet the Devil of San Antonio.
Tell Benji.
Well. Well done, Benji. I suppose I have to play your devil now.
I'm your cleaner. He just shrugs and smiles.
Very well. Then bring 'em up, Bucket. What exactly what is it that they actually want?
I made the deal with them that they would get more business. They get more products, they get more motion, and in exchange, I won't ruin their business.
Very well.
It's mostly so that I have control of where they are producing, where they're sending their dealers, etc. That's the goal, at least.
You tell me what part I must play, and I will play it to assist you.
I appreciate it.
The devil. Okay. Well, let me not keep you two. I have two house guests to entertain tonight. We will be at the Haven proper shortly.
Alright. Benji turns to Amber. My power card is out. I'll have to get it towed. Could you give me a ride?
Yes, Benji, that is a thing that I can do for you, but next time, keep a spare tire in your trunk.
Normally I do, but if I'm gonna be honest, I thought I'd keep a body in there, so had to make room.
Priorities. Maybe you should think about getting a new vehicle.
Maybe I need to think about getting a new job.
Things for the next couple of nights to think about whilst we traipse through this little minefield that we've found ourselves in.
Or something. Yeah.
Come on then, let us go.
So the two of you get into Amber's car and make your way back towards the haven. Was there anything else you wanted to do here, Urien?
No, I will spend the evening speaking to Carlos and explaining the situation to Fox. May even go for an early feeding role.
Okay. Then with that, I think we'll call the session a night. Thank you, all three of you, for playing.
I'm so glad that didn't end in catastrophe.
Look, Specs. Benji has the mother of all panic buttons. If they disrespect me, I punch them and they explode like meat balloons.
There was a small part of me that was expecting Benji to turn that entire place into a fucking bloodbath.
That's my thought.
I wanted to see it.
Like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill
Benji.
8 men
Murder!
here, and then I'm gonna crawl out with like one leg.
I was
Yeah,
I
we're
was
gonna
half
throw it
expecting it too, to be honest.
Broke back Benji. Make some rouse checks. Eat someone.
Ah, yes. Hope you all enjoyed that session, though. We did go over on time by half an hour,
Yeah.
but you know, what can
Sorry.
you do? It's good. It's all good. So, let's quickly get through some experience.
Yeah.
One for each of you for showing up tonight. And then we have the bonus experience for plot mover, best scene, and a memorable line. So, who moved the plot? Could be their plot, could be the overall plot, could be anything.
I'm gonna say Benji.
Benji.
Yeah, Benji.
For the fact that he actually talked to some people within the group that he was trying to get to.
The big thing is I just took advantage of a unexpected opportunity. But Benji ended up going out on his own. Did it. I was quite impressed.
Well, that's two votes for Benji. So Benji, looks like you get it.
Hey.
If you're saying anything, Specs, I'm not hearing you.
Yeah. Something up with your mic, Specs.
Speaker?
Speaker.
They might have disconnected. I don't know. I'll make sure that they...
No, they're still there.
I see that, but I also see the message of sleep in our Discord, so I have no idea if they disconnected or not.
Mm-hmm.
But that will go to Benji, and I'll make sure to notate that.
Okay.
Who?
Oh, there they go.
Oh, yeah. Who had the best scene?
I'm giving that to Amber. I have never seen Amber that catty.
I'll take it. I'll happily take that.
Perfect. Then Amber, you get best scene. Do we have any memorable lines?
Do you know who I am?
Urien being Urien.
That was chilling. It was
Do you
quite
have
chilling.
any idea where you are?
Yeah,
Small
no,
part of
if
me that was really thinking about drinking him into Torport.
Yeah.
Really thinking about it.
Honestly, if I Discord
Discord broke.
broke.
Ah. Okay. Well.
If I'm gonna go with that one. My second choice would have been Amber being like, oh, and Maxine, make sure you give it some proper thought.
Oof. 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 Catty bitches be catty.
Yeah. Just calling Maxine a moron straight to her face.
Wow. Delightful. So we don't really have a third to argue.
Yeah, no, so I would say honestly my vote goes to Urien. But I said if I had to pick a second it would be Amber's cattiness.
Okay. Then Urien, you're going to
Urien
get
gets
the
it.
line.
Yay!
That very chilling, do you know who I am? I love it. Love it.
What? Welcome to You Done Fucked.
You done fucked. You done fucked.
You done goofed. Yeah, I have no experience to spend.
Okay.
I really, I gotta save up 20 experience.
For Blood Sorcery 4.
Yeah, and then another 25 for 5, and then I can start hammering out disciplines. I also gotta build up Dominate in all specs.
Okay.
But right now I heavily need to end up getting Blood Sorcery for
Yep. I am also not spending anything as I am gunning for the 10 XP mark for Resolve 2.
Alright.
But I am finally at 2 hunger again.
Yay!
Alright, I
Alright.
gotta log off.
Alright.
So take care, everybody.
Just
Good night.
Just as a quick note, I want to make some out of character mechanical notes to you guys. Urien, with Father Trent interfering in the collection of the herd, if you don't deal with it, a herd dot will be lost.
Yeah. That's gonna be taking a precedent, I can assure you.
If don't worry if Urien asks, Amber will be more than down to help him with dealing with the father.
There was one other thing that I was gonna make a mention of, and I don't remember what it was.
If it's important, he'll come back to you.
It will.
Alright. Take care.
Thank you,
And
Garrett.
with that,
Listen to it.
everyone, we are going to call it a night and log off. We are going to raid Maddie. If you guys want to jump into the raid, and thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all next week, Wednesday, with more San Antonio by Nights. Say goodnight, everyone.
Well, it's just me, so good night, everyone.